Here comes Mike Barrett. Hide the wine. Carly Pierce kicks in a 5.5. Good morning. He's already lit at 7:48. As he does every hump day about 10 minutes to 8 o'clock, it's Good Policies with Barrett Insurance. And such a pleasure to have you in studio, my friend. I miss you when you're not here.
Now who's been drinking?
No, I've just been smoking the doob because it's legal now.
Okay.
So, yeah. Puff, puff, pass, man. Moving on. No, I'm not promoting drug use.
No. I feel very inappropriate.
Oh, boy, I tell you what.
Also very hungry.
So, yeah, me too.
I eat breakfast, that's why.
Is M&M's a good breakfast? So you've had a lot of things going on. You're back getting things in the groove. You're finding as if business is steadily growing. There's been some new progress with Progressive, I understand, with you. Mm-hmm. You want to share with people how things have been swimmingly?
Yeah. So there's two agencies currently in Vermont appointed by Progressive to sell.
And you're one of them.
Yes, sir. Us and Bassett Insurance Agency out of Essex Junction. So it must have been a B thing. That might be why I don't know. But so we're very excited because the way it works is every Progressive agent in Vermont, and believe me, just about everybody in Vermont represents Progressive for their auto and special lines and commercial auto. But only two agencies so far have been selected to sell their homeowner product. Everybody else,
which I have.
Which you have. Well, the renter's insurance, every Progressive agent has the renter's insurance now. That's new in Vermont as of the end of last month. Now I got to buy a home
to get more insurance.
You do. So now we're offering the traditional homeowner policy, which is really great. If you know Progressive at all, Progressive has, years ago, I was insured with Progressive for 9 years, way back. And back then, they had 12-month policy terms. And for some reason, I'm a bit of an old school guy. I like the 12-month term. I'm not a huge fan of the 6-month term. I'll do it, but I prefer the 12-month term. Not sure why. It's just ingrained in my head. That's what I like. So Progressive, back when I was insured with them, had 12-month terms. They have been doing 6-month policy terms for eons now. And if you have a homeowner's or a renter's insurance policy, if you are a fan of 12-month policy terms, you can do a 12-month policy term again.
Now, let's say I do get
very
a home.
Cool.
Does it go up or down depending on the type of home that I have? Like, if I have a cheap home, is it cheaper? Or is there like a...
Cheap as in how? Cheap as in cost or cheap as in construction?
From crappy to mediocre, is that like one price, and then from mediocre to decent is another, and then like if you have a really nice mansion, that's a different price? Or is it pretty much, dependent on each little thing? Like you have to go through this long algorithm?
No, so it's not a long algorithm. Companies, when it comes to insuring homes, so we're going to talk traditional homes, when it comes to insuring them, they have things they're looking for. They don't want deferred maintenance properties. So the value aside, so if it's a small house that costs very little, there's still going to be a replacement cost associated with that house. So if you have a house that you need to insure for $125,000 because it's a small home, or a house that you need to insure for $700,000 because it's a big home, obviously the price will be more for the big house. But things for consideration would be updated utilities, updated roof, updated everything. I mean, if you have a house built in the 1900s, they want to know that within the past 5 to 10 years or 20 years that you've updated the utilities.
Things like, we were just talking about this last winter. We've got the tanker outside the back door here, and you were talking about you need to have a cement slab.
Right.
And funny enough, a month later, there's a cement slab underneath it. Have you seen that most of the people that you've talked to are like, oh, okay, well, that's not a big deal. You need a cement slab? I'll go and get a cement slab done.
Believe it or not, yeah, for small things like that, most people are pretty quick to respond. People are like, well, we didn't really ever think about that. And that's really what it is. We all live our life, and there's things with mechanics that identify problems with my car, that I never would have thought of.
Well, that's their job to rip you off. I'm sorry, what?
Well, it's my job to rip you off, sir.
Oh, what?
Just kidding. Just trying to give the mechanics a little help there. That was rude, Sean. My God.
Sorry.
But we specialize in this. So a lot of times if there's something that we identify, the biggest thing I come across right now is there's two things: pools without fencing around them, or decks without railings when there are so many, when there's so much off the ground.
Yeah.
So
what is the actual, like a 2 feet off the ground, you got to have a railing?
Yeah, typically anything over 2 feet, yeah. Okay. I mean, that's the typical. Most companies use the 2-step rule. Anything beyond 2 steps needs a railing.
If it takes
you 3 steps to get up.
If I have a pond out in my backyard, I've seen people that have just like a basic fence that blocks it,
Right.
or something around it that keeps young people from just going right in. It's because of safety for young people, for the most part.
Right. It's a liability concern if somebody was to drown. Absolutely.
Am I required to have a complete fence around the entire body?
It's interesting. It depends on sometimes I've had companies go, boy, they really need a fence around that. Like, really? Do you want to put a fence around that gigantic little, that pond that's about 10 times the size of a swimming pool?
It's crazy.
It's within reason, I mean, the assumed liability. I mean, you didn't, if it's a man-made pond, maybe that's a different thing. But, it's about a discussion and having an understanding of how to mitigate loss. And most companies would not necessarily require a fence around a pond. So.
I was going to say, I just put a cow out there and say, no, it's natural for drinking water and what have you.
Sure. Okay.
There was but did you hear about that yesterday? There was 10 cows wandering in St. Johnsbury up on Bible Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, they're out there stealing hubcaps. I know it. Bad cows.
The Holstein gang.
Yeah, the Holstein gang. So if you would like to talk more about what's on your policy, what's in your wallet, you can call Mike Barrett, Bear Insurance Agency at...
I didn't realize the guy that said that had an accent.
Oh, my God.
Did I mess up the flow? I'm sorry. Hand it back to me. Hold on. There we go. 748-5224. You can visit our website, thebarrettagency.com. We're also on Portland Street in St. Johnsbury. Facebook, Google, and YouTube is all Barrett Insurance Agency. You okay over there?
What's in your wallet?